Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zaira Vidal. Today I will be talking about the DACA population in Southern California. Also, I'll be focusing on the psychological repercussions many DACA holders between the ages of 15 and 30 face throughout the entire process of either waiting, applying, or obtaining a temporary legal status protection. To start with, let me define what DACA is. DACA recipients refers to those individuals protected under President Obama Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Another important fact to consider about this program is how it differs from the term dreamer, which refers to those who will be protected under the Development, Relief, and Education for Alien Minors Act, a bill in Congress that has been proposed several times but never passed. The reason why I am making this clarification is because many times people confuse these two terms with one another. Secretary of Homeland Security Janet Napolitano created the for Action for Childhood Arrivals on June 15, 2012. That is an exercise of prosecutorial discretion, providing temporary relief from deportation and work authorization to certain young undocumented immigrants brought to the United States as children. Thanks to DACA, almost 800,000 young adults are able to work lawfully, attend school, and plan their lives without the constant threat of deportation, usually to an unfamiliar country. Unlike federal legislation, however, DACA does not provide permanent legal status to individuals and must be renewed every 2 years. On September 5, 2017, Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Elaine Duke resigned the 2012 DACA memorandum and announced a wind down of DACA. Effective immediately, no new applications for DACA will be accepted, and DACA beneficiaries whose status was due to expire before March 5, 2018, were permitted to renew their status for an additional 2 years if they apply by October 5, 2017. Any person for whom DACA would have expired as of March 6, 2018 will no longer have deferred action or an employment authorization. On January 9, 2018, a federal judge in California blocked the Trump administration's termination of DACA and continued to allow renewal requests. Similarly, on February 13, 2018, a federal judge in New York issued a preliminary injunction preventing the administration from abruptly ending the DACA program. As of August 2019, individuals with DACA or those who had DACA in the past can continue to renew their benefits on a 2 year basis. However, first time applications are no longer being accepted. Of the almost 7,000 DACA recipients active as of June 2019, more than 80% were born in Mexico. Two states account for 45% of DACA population: California with 188,420 and Texas 100,090. Vermont ranks the lowest with 20 recipients. Around three quarters of the recipients are living in 20 major cities, as in Table 3, with 89,900 DACA recipients. The Los Angeles area has the largest number of active enrollees, followed by the New York area at around 47,200 living there. In Dallas, there's around 36,700 applicants, and in Houston around 35,800. In addition, Lopez research found that nearly half, 45% of DACA beneficiaries live in just two states: California 29% and Texas 16%, followed by Illinois 5%, New York 5%, Florida 4%, and Arizona 4%. DACA beneficiaries came from all over the world, but the majority were born in Latin America, according to research. As seen previously, Mexico was by far the top country of origin for DACA recipients with almost 600,000, followed by El Salvador with 25,900, Guatemala 17,700, and Honduras 16,100. These are the top countries because of their history of immigration and current political situation. As an example, Hondurans are fleeing poverty and violence. They make up most of the participants of a caravan estimated between 7,000 and 8,000 people. They are slowly moving through Mexico in the hope of reaching the United States and receiving refugee. The mainstream narrative is of such movements of people often reduces the causes of migration to factors unfolding in migrants' home countries. In reality, migration is often a manifestation of a profoundly unequal and exploitative relationship between countries from which people emigrate and countries of destination. Furthermore, there is also a considerable amount of people from El Salvador and Guatemala fleeing their country and going through Mexico in order to arrive at the border in hopes of better life. The majority of DACA recipients are 25 and younger, as these immigrants travel to the U.S. prior to their 16th birthday. Tragically, many feel as if they are still no part of the country they call home. At this transition stage in life, many young adults have their mindset on starting a new life and making it in the real world. Due to struggles they have to go through because of their still undocumented status can greatly complicate the early stages of their professional lives. As part of the contemporary literature and media, Vitalova states that Mexicans are less likely to be naturalized U.S. citizens than immigrants overall, mainly due to the presence of a large unauthorized immigrant population ineligible for U.S. citizenship. Here in Southern California, Latino immigrants had severe problems of mental health and well being. Mental health is defined by the World Health Organization as a state of well being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stress of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to her or his community. Mexican individuals who immigrated to the U.S. before age 13 have a significantly higher risk of developing mood and anxiety disorders than those who do so later in life. This may be caught because of their fear of being deported and separated from their family. This fear will then result in depression, which can transfer to their potential children, which then leads to language deficits, developmental delays, social aggression, and poor academic performance. As Jung states, the divergent ways in which individuals, groups, and nation states have responded to the uptick in immigrant and refugees arrivals suggest that attitudes towards immigrants and immigration are a reflection not only of individuals' beliefs and their immediate social circumstances, such as their employment status, but also the cultural, economic, and human security circumstances of nation states within which individuals' attitude formation takes shape. On the other hand, Overman's argument supports the idea of a human right to immigrate is not then a demand for open borders. Rather, it is a demand that basic liberties to move, associate, speak, worship, work, and marry be awarded the same level of protection when people seek to exercise them across borders as when people seek to exercise them within borders. Immigration restrictions deserve no special exemption from the purview of human freedom rights. A proposal for a future research project in one of the social sciences is related to the linguistics and anthropology, which would study how language affects the social, political, and psychological state of DACA holders. As for a proposed research questions for future research, first, how are DACA holders linguistically affected by their legal status and how will this aspect affect future generation culturally speaking? Number two, what are some ways to cope with stress and emotional instability when you are a DACA recipient? Thank you.